He is legitimately flying right now. I'm dying keeping up. Hey, what's up? Chaz here. We are in Washington and we are going to hang out with Travis Gaertner today. He is an Olympic class hand cyclist. He is an absolute legend of a human being. We're going to check out his garage and his training center, and then hopefully, if the sun comes out, it's Washington, we're going to go out and have a shred. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions for Travis, drop them in the comments. We're going to go find Travis and see what makes him faster.
Yeah, so this is called it's a recumbent hand cycle because there's two different types. This is one where you lie flat. And as you can see here, I pedal with my hands. So the brake lever and blips are hooked up to these custom
so you've got the wireless blips.
Wireless
That's how
blips.
you're shifting.
And you can see custom grips so that the wireless blip fits right into that custom blip there. Grips are molded to my hand.
Oh yeah, so this is like full custom.
Full custom, everything is custom here. Use your hands to kind of move the fork, and then as you mentioned, it's all about getting your body weight up and above these wheels here to make sure that they stay down when you're railing those corners at 25, 27, 28 miles an hour type idea.
All right, little foreshadowing. We went riding, it was sunny, and watching this guy take turns at like 25, 30 miles an hour is mind-bending how fast he goes.
It's a lot of fun. It's all about just making the bike kind of an extension of your body, just like it would be in able-bodied cycling, but even more so important for a hand cyclist who kind of is in this different position, to make sure that you just feel like it's an extension. So you strap yourself in around your hips so that your hips can stay flush.
Yep.
And then that gives you the ability to really, use your abs, your obliques, and really just that core muscle group to get as far over top of this wheel as you possibly can so that you can take those corners. Right now, almost everybody, essentially everybody on the international scene that sits in a recumbent hand cycle uses 650C in the front wheel. And part of the reason for that is we just don't put up so much power with our arms. So think about back in the day when folks used to say, well, for smaller folks, maybe a smaller wheel makes more sense. Mm-hmm. We kind of all adopted that, if you will, into bike design. There's more and more that I've been working with SRAM and now Zipp. I've just been so impressed with the product line that I thought, if I were to have this bike designed for a 700C, then I could start using Zipp. And I've always really wanted to get on some Zipp wheels. And so I had this bike specifically designed so that I could do that. Because there's no rules of thumb like we talked about, you gotta kind of figure a lot of this out yourself. And you gotta figure out what makes sense for you in terms of your setup. But when you've been doing it long enough and experimenting on your own like I have, you kind of have a good feel for it. Your competitors are really your family in many different ways, right, in the cycling world. And so you just wanna all help each other get faster. That just increases the competition, makes you better. By making them faster, you make yourself faster.
I agree with that. I think more people need to agree with that. Remember that, in the cycling world, in anything, your competitors are your family. The faster your competitors are, the faster you are.
And so I always wanted to go to tubeless. I mean, running a thicker tire, lower pressure, it's just faster. The science is just there, right? And so I always wish I didn't have to be on that clincher and be able to run a lower tire pressure. And now I finally can. I'm going to run this around, call it 60 psi maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
And run the thicker tire seats. So there's a 28s. Grand Prix, and
I love it that you're there, because I'm there. I'm like, this is the fastest combo, right? A 28C tire at about 55, 60 PSI is like, you can't get faster.
You can't get faster than that. So now I've got that optimal combination that I've always wanted.
So I want to talk about these, man. You got some metal here. What's going on? You got 2 Olympic medals on this table.
Yeah, so prior to hand cycling, I went to the Sydney Games and the Athens Olympic Games.
Yeah.
And we got gold medals both times. Different sports, sport of wheelchair basketball, for a different country. It's actually competing for Canada. So since then I've become a US citizen, so I'm in Team USA now. But got these in this was Sydney and this was Athens.
Dude, that is super impressive. So why the switch from Olympic level basketball to hand cycling? Like, why step away from that?
I went away from it altogether just to focus on career and family.
Yeah, okay.
And so I did that, focus on my career, family, and then I would say, so that was 2004 was my last games. By 2017, that competitive bug was coming back.
You seem like the type of guy that's always going to be there,
It was hard to resist, and so I got on a hand cycle, and for a disabled athlete, to get onto the hand cycle for the first time is just amazing, because you grew up riding bikes. Mm-hmm. I've been disabled my entire life. I didn't ride a bike till well into adulthood.
Okay, yeah.
So when you first get on that bike, especially for a disabled athlete, this is so freeing.
The speed too.
And the speed.
And so road races.
Yes. That's where the fun is.
Yeah, oh man, Tom,
Right?
I want to know about
That's
this.
where
I'm
the
like,
fun is.
that sounds gnarly. So we're talking like mass start road races.
Mass start road races, just like you would expect, and just like you see with regular cycling.
That has got to be just so intense. Like fighting for position, moving up, and then going through corners. Like, walk me through this. This has just got to be nuts.
If you think about the hand cycle, because they're wider at
Yeah.
the back with those two wheels, like you said, trying to fight for position is much more difficult. You've usually got a lot more people in one spot in those turns that it can get a little dicey. Everybody has different lines, and like you'd expect, but those different lines magnify themselves when
sometimes
you've
they
got a
cross.
little bit wider of a frame going through those turns. Not everybody has the same ability because our disabilities are different. So not everybody has the same ability to lean into the turns, and so it can get pretty dicey out there. I think I feel more nervous, in that first, just like most cyclists probably would, but in those first, call it 30 minutes before you're dropping.
Those are the worst 30 minutes of any race.
Oh,
man.
goodness. But once you get into your pack, front pack, lead pack, then
Is there teamwork? Are you drafting? Or are you guys making like moves together? Is it like the traditional,
Absolutely.
like you're making a break and you're working together to hold the
Very
break?
much so. People are attacking. You're thinking about your draft. You're thinking about all those things. And if you're lucky enough to have a teammate in the same race that you're in, because internationally speaking, it would just be another fellow, Team USA athlete. And because we're all in different classifications with our disabilities, so you only race within your classification depending on your level of disability.
Thank you, Travis, for walking me through
Absolutely.
everything. This was amazing.
My pleasure.
Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions for Travis, drop them in the comments.
Please do.
Are you on social media?
I am on social media. You can look me up on Instagram. It's just Travis, my first name, Gaertner, my last name, Gaertner. There you go. You can rewind and slow-mo that. But yeah, I post a lot, especially when we're traveling with the team, about the events, what's going on, what we're thinking. So if you want to follow, that'd be fantastic.
Cool. Follow along. Till next time, making you faster.